Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump straight into the tutorial. I'm going to teach you how to beat your face like a pro. I am specifically going to talk about the techniques that I use, and not to toot my own horn, but I take a lot of pride when I get comments in person like, your makeup looks even better in person, it looks so airbrush flawless, how do you get it to not show any pores, etc. So I am here to give you my tips and tricks. First things first, you need to start off with a face that is prepped, and by that I already went ahead and applied moisturizer and sunscreen and moisturized my lips because we do not want any crusty lips. And I will have all the products listed down below. I will talk about some of the products, but for the most part they will be down below. I start off by priming my face, and this is my favorite primer because it really just moisturizes my skin and makes my makeup last all night long. I think the most important thing when you do your makeup is your base, because if your skin is dry and you apply makeup on top of it, your texture and pores are going to be very noticeable. Everyone's skin is different, but these are just my tips and tricks. So always moisturize before applying makeup. Moving on to foundations, these are my favorite go-to foundations. I have been using these the entire summer. They are my favorite. This is the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I like to mix two shades, which is Stromboli and Barcelona. So I add 1 pump of Barcelona and another Stromboli. Literally just start off by placing it all over my face. We're also going to be applying this to the neck because we want our necks to match our face. Whatever is left, I pick up with the brush. You don't just want to go in with a clean brush. I feel like it blends out better that way. I'll just go in and start blending whatever I have on my neck, and then I will blend it out a little bit later. I like to start off with this brush because it doesn't steal as much product versus a beauty blender. I feel like back then when I would go in with the beauty blender, I would have to do multiple layers because the sponge does take a lot of the product. I will say one of the reasons why I love this foundation is because it's very skin-like, and I do have some freckles and I still like them to poke through. Another tip I do have is don't apply too much foundation under your eyes because you don't want to make them look heavy or cakey. That is specifically for concealer, so try not to apply that much foundation. So this is with 1 layer. Now I'm just going to go in on the bottom because I really like the bottom to be flawless, and apply some more on my neck just to make sure everything is even. And whatever's left, I'll just kind of like spread it around. And now I'm gonna go in with the beauty blender just to make sure that everything is well buffed out and there are no streaks from the brush. And I usually just apply that second layer on the bottom portion of my face. I will say I feel like when I take my time with my foundation, it comes out looking more smooth and flawless. So take your time if you want your makeup to come out really good. Also make sure that the neck is blended and there are no streaks. So this is what the foundation looks like. It's very dewy, fresh, glowy. However, I don't like my skin to look like this, so I do love to set my face with powders, but we're still on the creams. Next is cream contour. I have been obsessed with the Laguna 02 from NARS. This actually just came out, and the brush that it comes with is fire. This one literally blends like butter. And always make sure to apply your cream bronzer above your cheekbone and never below your cheekbone because it's going to drag your face down. And we want to look lifted and snatched as possible. I used to love heavy bronzer, but I feel like now, as I'm getting older, I kind of like it to look a little bit more subtle, but I still want the contour, you know? So I literally just apply that much. I have very prominent cheekbones, so I don't want to look too snatched because then I end up looking like Jigsaw. I don't know about you guys, but I love a bronzed forehead, so I always make sure to be very generous when I apply my cream products on my forehead. Okay, this is something that is very important. When you put your cream contour underneath, always make a kissy face, because when you do a kissy face, it pulls your skin up. So if you are just contouring right here and then you go, you're gonna see the line in pictures, and I used to always wonder why you could see all of my contour, but it's because it stretches out the skin, and you always want to drag it down, never up. Y ahora we go back with whatever leftover foundation the beauty blender had, just to make sure that everything is well blended. I will even go over the forehead a little bit. Okay, so here is what it looks like with the cream bronzer. By the way, this is the Lancome 26 brush. I love this because it, on the other side, it has this little bristle, and I love to use that for my nose contour. Whoa, I think I added way too much. Oh, I definitely, to achieve a perky nose, I always do a circle and I flick this little line over here to really make it just like perky, you know? And then I will drag the contour all the way up to my brows, and with whatever foundation is on this brush, I will just blend out the tip of the nose. The rest we'll handle in a bit. Next up, concealer. This is the Makeup Forever one. I really love this concealer. I highly recommend it. We're gonna go ahead and snatch up here as well. This is a very thin concealer, so I feel like with this one I can really be generous with it. Oh my god, I am running out of this concealer. No. Wait. Stop the concealer right before my nostrils, and you don't want to drag it too down because then you're gonna look, you know what I'm saying? I'll add a little bit on my chin and just a little bit on here. I will then go in with this Huda Beauty Face and Conceal Blend Brush, and I will begin by blending out the concealer. I just feel like when you blend out your concealer with the brush, like the foundation, it doesn't steal as much product. And I will snatch it all the way up here, and look at that. This brush is just so good at blending out that concealer with taking away the product. You don't want the concealer on the forehead to go too up high because then it's going to take away from that bronzed forehead that we want to achieve. And as I'm doing this on the sides, I'm making sure to blend out that contour with the concealer. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with that other side where the foundation was, and I'm just making sure that everything is blended and we have no harsh lines like over here. Just want to make sure you buff them out just a little bit. Awesome, perfect. And because we don't want any streaks with a clean side of the Beauty Blender, just go over it a little bit just to make sure that the contour and concealer are blended. I feel like a teacher right now because I'm not updating you guys on any tea or anything, but I strictly just wanted to do like a straight on makeup tutorial. Next step is a cream blush. This is my favorite one from SheGlam. This is the Hush Hush cream blush, and I highly recommend you, if you do purchase this one, also buy the brush. This is the best brush I have ever used in my entire career of makeup for a cream blush, so I highly recommend it. And this is just one of my favorite shades. Literally, look at how easy that blends it out. Make sure to smile, and I do like to bring it a little bit into the cheekbones. That just literally completes and marries both the contour and the concealer. I don't know how I used to not use cream blush. With cream blush, you always want to do tapping motions and never swiping motions, because then you will end up removing the foundation and whatever cream layers you have underneath, and you do not want to disturb those. Okay, so now we're moving on to powders, and this is the Huda Beauty Cupcake powder. Pretty sure everybody has heard of this powder. It's honestly one of the best powders. I also do love the Prism Givenchy one. That one is really good. Just make sure the lines are set. So I went ahead and I picked up some powder and just pressed down whatever else is extra, and we were just going to literally set the areas where we applied the concealer. And I always make sure to even do the top part of the blush because I feel like it just looks super pretty. I just feel like when you use a puff like this, it makes your under eyes look more airbrushed, and whatever powder is left, I will set that. And I always make sure to set my chin. I hate a shiny chin. I really hate a shiny chin. That's just me though, everyone is different. And whatever other powder is left, I will use that to set the forehead. Okay, now for the bottom portion of my face, I go in with a face powder. This is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin, and I grab just a flat brush like this. I will pick up some of the product and I will set the bottom area while snatching the cheekbone. Make sure that you are using a powder flat brush and not a foundation flat brush. This is from Dose of Colors and it's the setting powder brush. And with a fluffy brush, I will just go ahead and set my neck. Okay, so now that we are done, I'm just going in with this Morphe Aerial brush. I will say the #1 brush collection that I will always recommend is the Makeup by Aria one. It is hands down one of the best brush collections I've ever used. But I'm just getting rid of that excess powder and just making sure the under eyes are set. Now I know you're probably looking at my makeup and you're like, she looks a little bit too matte, a little bit too dry, there's no more color. Trust the process, because by the end of the video, it's not going to look like this. Always trust the process. But while my face is still matte, I will apply my bronzer. I do not recommend you wet the face and then apply bronzer, because I feel like bronzer is one of those products that can get blotchy very quickly, and we are trying to avoid blotchiness. I forgot to film this part, but I just grabbed my bronzer and I did tapping motions. Like I said, you never want to do swiping motions because you are going to take away some of that product. But I went ahead and I tapped both of my cheeks, and then I went in as well on my forehead, pushing that product up because you don't want to see the difference between your scalp and the bronzer, because when you take pictures, it's going to look very weird. The reason why I like to leave my eyebrows at the very end is because I like the bronzer to touch my eyebrows, and I also do not clean my eyebrows from the top anymore. You know how like in 2016 we all used to have very clean cut brows. I feel like now the more natural you look, the better. So I really like the bronzer to touch my eyebrows. It just shapes your face very, very nicely. I'm going to do my eyebrows off camera because it's going to take me a while, but I literally don't do anything special. I just fill them in with a brow pencil, and that is literally it. Okay, so I went ahead and I did my eyebrows. Now here is another tip. I just clean them up with concealer and set them with powder, and I love to set my eyebrows with whatever powder's left. I learned this trick through makeup artists. Also, let me know if you guys want me to do this tutorial in Spanish. I'll go based off the likes, so give this video a thumbs up if I should do this tutorial in Spanish. I haven't done one in a very long time. Okay, so now that we are done with setting the face, our eyebrows, we're gonna go in with a hydrating mist, and this one is the Huda Beauty Glow Cocoa. I always make sure to hydrate my skin before applying blush, because it just really melts into the skin and it lasts longer. I learned this tip through getting my makeup done by a professional makeup artist. So I like to layer my blush. I'm now going in with the NARS Instincts blush palette, cheek palette, and I mix these two. And I just do tapping motions. I feel like this is a great base. And I'm mainly focusing this on the outside of my cheek, not so much the inside, because then I'm gonna go in with the infamous Dior blush. I really love this blush on top of other blushes. It looks very pretty by itself, but I will then go in with the Mario F2 brush, and I always get asked how I get my under eyes to look pink, and it's literally this technique I'm doing here. I only apply this blush on the apples of my cheek, and then whatever is left, I swipe it under my eye, and I feel like it just marries everything together. So you can still see the brightness of the concealer, but that pink underneath just makes it look very soft. This eyeshadow look I'm about to show you is the easiest eyeshadow look ever. It's my go-to. It goes with everything, and I'm obsessed with it, okay? This eyeshadow look that I'm about to do is my go-to. I love it. I've done it on my YouTube channel before, but this is like my staple eyeshadow look. It just goes with everything. I absolutely love it. I thrive in it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. All I'm doing is going in with this shade as base, and then I will darken it up with this shade, and that is literally it. You just need those two shades. But this is the easiest tutorial ever. I just layer and layer and layer until I am satisfied. I will also make sure to touch a little bit on the brow bone and just kind of touch this powder contour that we have over here, just to make sure everything connects. I also make sure to just really add it on the inner corner and up to the brows. That way the nose contour connects with the eye and it looks very, very pretty. I did have some mascara on because I did go run errands earlier. But the next step is you grab a flat brush, and that same color, you just add it all to the lid. Whatever's left, I just kind of drag it up here. And literally we're all done. I kid you not, this is the easiest look. I think that's why I also love it, because it just looks very sophisticated. Wait until we're all done. For the lower lash line, I will just mix both of the colors that we just used and apply that. Okay, so I'm next gonna do my eyeliner. I have been obsessed with brown shadow liner. I don't know why, but I'm using this angled brush. I literally just follow my eye, just like that. And then I just go in and fill it in, just to make it a little bit more darker. Okay, from there, I am then gonna go in with a smaller, more defined angled brush to create the inner corner. I just feel like when you do an inner corner, it looks more like exotic, you know? I love like the cat eye look, so I'm just going to follow the shape of my inner corner. Literally just like that, boom. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the other eye and I will be right back. Okay, so I am back. I went ahead and I added some lashes. These I believe are Seductive by Birdie Lashes. They're one of my favorites. Also Dream are also one of my favorite pairs, and Gemini. But I realized that I started my lip and I wasn't recording. I used the Alameda Cosmetics lip liner, and then this has just been my go-to lip combo for some reason, but I'm going in with the nude number 2. Oh, I also went ahead and just added bottom mascara, but I will go ahead and just pat this on. And the very last step is I'm going in with the Hourglass Dim Light palette, and I will use this shade in the middle. It's not like a highlighter, but it just adds like a very nice glow to the face, and it's very thin, so it doesn't just sit on top of the face, it actually melts. And I really, really love it. I don't know why for some reason I don't like highlighter, but I love that this is kind of like a translucent powder and highlighter would have a baby. Look at how pretty that glow looks. And now I think we are done. So this is How to Beat Your Face Like a Pro, Daisy Marquez edition. Once again, I will have all the products listed down below. Give me a thumbs up if you guys want this tutorial in Spanish. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye guys.